What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Big shout out to those of you who've already picked up my sky replacement packs. For those of you who are interested in sky replacement or even how I edit my photos, then this video is for you. In the description below, you'll find a link where I'm giving away 5 free skies for you to try out, 1 sky from each of my packs, as well as one from an upcoming pack that I'll be putting out soon called Mayan Riviera. Also included in the free download link are 5 of my cool composition but kind of boring sky images for you to edit yourself. Okay, so let's get to it and start editing this shot from White Sands, New Mexico. Now I'm going to speed this video up a little bit and just kind of go over some of the things that I'm doing. If you guys have any questions about my process and need any help with anything, please drop a comment below and I'll do my best to help you out. So first off, I need to find the sky that I want to use. Now all of these skies that you're seeing me go through here are all part of the 4-pack bundle. So this one caught my attention. I had the idea to try and make the rainbow land right on top of the tree. But as you can see, as I move it around, if I make the rainbow hit the tree, I run out of sky on the right side of the picture. No need to fear though, in Photoshop there's something called Content Aware Scale that will allow me to fill out that part of the sky with the replaced sky. So what I'm going to do is edit the sky within the sky replacement window and worry about filling in the right side of the sky once I have the attributes adjusted to how I want it. I'm doing this because once you pick your sky and click OK, you don't get the option to go back and make adjustments within the sky replacement window. So I make the adjustments now and then worry about the content aware after the adjustments are made. And now is where the content aware scale comes in. I'm just trying to stretch this certain part of the sky to fill in my gap on the right, but I want to only stretch this part of the sky. Otherwise, if I did the entire sky, the rainbow would no longer be the perfect size to hit the tree. So I only want to affect the part of the sky that I don't mind distorting a little bit. As you can see, I'm now left with this little spot that I need to get rid of. Again, with Photoshop, there are usually multiple ways to do something. For this image, I use a combination of Content Aware and also the Clone Stamp tool. Now, it definitely doesn't always work out perfectly, but sometimes it does a really good job. Some of you may know a different or even better way to do this. If you know a better way, drop me a comment and let me know how you would do this. It's not exactly perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it. Now time to save. Save early and save often. I always like to compare the edit that I just did to what I started with, just to make sure that I'm happy with the direction that I'm going in. Next, I was thinking about running this shot through the plugin Luminar 4. There are a few adjustments in there that I really like, plus it's fun to play around with the edits. On shots where I replace a sky or do major stuff like this, then I like to go all the way in and use some cool effects in applications like Luminar and Nik Collection. One of the things that I love about Luminar is their Vignette. I've used a lot of different vignettes, but the way this processes it just feels good to me. I tend to like a heavy vignette, but not too heavy to the point where the corners are just all black. I want to bring you into the middle of the shot, and it also helps to add some drama and some contrast to the shot. This is also one of my favorite adjustments in Luminar. It's the mystical slider. It just gives this dreamy glow. It's almost like a glamour glow type of effect. Then again, I like to compare it with the previous edits just to make sure I'm still happy with it. One thing I realized is I didn't like how that mystical slider affected the tree, so I changed the mask and brush all the areas I want the effect to stay on, which is everything except for the tree, so I can keep the details in the tree but keep everything else with that little dreamy glow effect. Now when I compare it, I'm much happier with the tree keeping its detail while the rest of the picture gets that glow. And then I just give it a little bump on the glow slider just so I can brighten it up a bit. Then click apply and see where we're at. So here's what it looked like before, and then now with the Luminar edits. Don't forget to save your work. Next, I want to just slightly bring up the shadows in the tree a little bit. I'm using the dodge and burn tool and dodging the midtones. Now when I compare this to the last version, I notice that because I dodged the tones at the bottom of the tree, I also dodged the sand in the background behind the tree. I do not want that. So now I'll zoom in a little closer and burn just the sand parts behind the tree to try and get it to look a little bit more natural. Okay, I'm much happier with that. And guess what? Time to save. Now I feel like I just want a tad bit more brightness to this. I typically have very dark edits, that's just my style. But for this shot, I just feel like I want it a little bit brighter and just a little bit more contrast. So I add a brightness and contrast adjustment layer. And once again, gotta do a before and after to see if I'm liking it. One thing that I feel that I want to change is it just feels a little too blue on the dunes, or whatever color. I'm colorblind, so to me it's too much blue. So I go to the dodge and burn tool and select the desaturate brush and just start brushing over the dunes where I feel it's too blue until I'm happy with the feel of it. As you can see from the before and after, by desaturating the sand it just feels a little bit more natural. At least to me it does. As I mentioned before, I'm colorblind, so every now and then I tend to push colors a little bit more than others. I think it's because that's what I have to do in order to see them like everyone else. So I decided to give the rainbow a little bit of saturation and also burn the midtones just to give it a little bit more contrast so it stands out more to me. And again with the before and after, I am definitely feeling this much better. The sand dunes are a bit warmer, the rainbow stands out a little bit more, so let's save. I mentioned earlier about using Luminar and Nik Collection, so just for fun, since I wanted this shot to have a dreamy feel to it, let's open up Nik Collection's Color Efex Pro 4 and go to their Glamour Glow filter. Now this effect can really take over your picture if you're not careful. I'll be a little heavy with it at first because I typically like to mask out certain parts afterwards. Now when I do the before and after, I'm not totally sold. It needs something else. I'm not stoked on the effect it has on the tree, so I'll create a layer mask and mask out the glow on the tree in order to keep the tree's details. Almost there. I'm digging it, but I think it can use just a little bit less of the glow, but this time on the whole picture, so I'll just reduce the opacity of the layer a little bit until I'm happy with the result. Yeah, that's much better to me. And of course, time to save. Now I'm pretty happy with the image, but I feel like I just want a little more vignette to it. I'm not used to having such light and bright shots. Gotta add a little of my darkness to it and bring you into the center of the shot even more. So let's do Luminar one more time just for the vignette. And there we go. Lastly, I think the vignette affected the sky just a little bit more than I wanted, so I'll add a layer mask to that layer and just brush the sky with an opacity of about 65%, just so I can still keep a little of the darkness but not have it be too much for my liking. Okay, and I am happy with that, and guess what's next? Time to save. And there you go, finished. We went from this to this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're interested in any of these sky packs, please visit my website at www.sikimagery.com. Cheers! Peace!